Previously on the project, The Father's Gift.
This is a man I love so much. Not because he's my biological father, but because of the love he has for Christ and his kingdom. To allow yourself to be used of the Lord is something worth celebrating. Matwen Awurade Anim. Mitumi ponye bone. Ati asefa na obeyi waye. These are songs wunkuto na osaye. And I can go down the list. These are songs that this man has allowed himself to be used of the Lord in penning down. Yes, truth. And I believe this is an opportune time for us to celebrate this man, Rev George Owusu Mensah, the original composer of Matwen Awurade Anim.
ROPS, R-O-P-S, Royal Priesthood Singers. That is it. That I remember that when I chose the Royal Priesthood Singers, one of my friends who was also in the ministry in the days of the beginnings, Brother Clement, said, then let's call it ROPS. And that's how it was. So it's not Richard Owusu Mensah or whatever. And even I've heard people call me Rocks. Rock, as in R-O-C-K-S. No, it is ROPS, R-O-P-S. That's the meaning, Royal Priesthood. As is in 1 Peter 2, verse number 9. That's where we picked our name from. This group started as a prayer group. When I became a Christian in less than a year, the Lord led me to begin that group. And we started as a prayer group. We had a place where we called the Upper Room in Lobitu, Hamokum Kumasi, where we met to pray. And later on, the Lord laid on our hearts that we should go out there and preach the word. And so we started by singing before we preached. And at that time, I was the only person who was doing the solos. So I'll pick a hymn or something, or any song that I knew at that time, and I would sing it. I will sing it, and then I will preach, or another person will preach. Yes, we got family members who also joined. The present Pro-Vice Chancellor of K University, my kid sister, Professor Kosia Dixon, was the first soprano singer in that group. And who again? My brother Charles, he was the tenor singer and also our percussionist. At that time, we didn't even have money to buy any tambourine. So he improvised some tambourine for us to use, and he was always doing the percussions for us. And others joined. My brother Alex Oseus, who is now the pastor of one of the churches of Pilgrim Christian Ministry. Now he's in London, and he's a great man of God. All of them talk about Clement, I've mentioned it. Reverend Justice Apiakubi also joined. And later on, we even had a drama group, and we started school ministries. Before the school ministries, we were doing dumb broadcasting. We would go and preach, sing and preach. And those days I had not written any songs. So we were singing songs from our old Kofi Abraham, some of the old songs, and so on and so forth. And we will sing, and people will just come out and hang on their walls and, listen to us. And when we finish, we make altar calls, and some will come and give their lives to Christ, and we'll get their names there. I had just finished secondary school. I attended the Senior Technical Institute from 77 to 81. And that was when I gave my life to Christ, and I was baptized in Grace Baptist Church in the year 1982. We had, at that time when we started singing, I remember we had contemporaries like the New Creation. And every year, during the last month of December, I think, I've forgotten exactly the dates, our program will crash with theirs. And, New Creation was a big name at that time. And yet, they will be at KTI, and we will be at Grace Baptist, and still we'll have the people. Because they also saw an emerging, contemporary gospel musicians. At that time, the full gospel people also were using it. That's where I met my good brother Osborne and Ajikum, who is now Kokomo. Those of you who know, he was Kokomo Productions. He's now in the US. And then Osborne, Osebonsu, who has been a brother since. Kokomo produced the first CD of the Rops in the year 1986, July. I'm not a date person, so I've forgotten exactly the day, but it was in July 1986. That's where we launched the first Matwen Anim at Grace Baptist Church. As a young man, I was 86, I was 26. By the grace of God, Agape also came into the scene at around the same time. So it was Baptist churches, and I remember later on we still got the pearls at Grace Baptist and so on. So that was the atmosphere at that time, and we did a lot of things. We were in schools, St. Monica's in Mampong. Yeah, I think yes, that's Monica's in Mampong. I believe they are still using our songs. Yeah, they had we had one wonderful song. Okurayen na osheyen, oboyen hu by firotam funisam. You see, in those days, we're not thinking about competition. We loved ourselves. We were ministry-minded people. And the ministry was what consumed us. And we were we were moved on. And as it were, we were people that always thought about what God wants to use us to do. I must say that in those days, we don't even think about who will give you what. You're just enthusiastic about the ministry, the fact that God is using you, and that was it. I'm not saying that it should be the norm. Now, but come to think of it, at that time I remember one thing. We went and sang when we were coming up. It was New Creation came before us. And so we sang some of their songs, and I don't remember exactly the song. I'm trying to recall the song, but I have forgotten. And we did injustice to that song, I should say. And at that time, the new members of the New Creation, especially the leaders, Jervis Jokoto, How can I forget these names? An old man. But we had names. And they were all Grace Baptist members, because at that time, I think that was the place where they rehearsed. They had their instruments, everything, musical instruments over there, and so on and so forth. And one of their leaders at that time was Jervis Jokoto. He was, at that time, he was leading the group. Very dynamic. I should say that he is one person that inspired me the most when I was growing up as a musician. Whenever I saw this man lead the group and sing the way he sang, I said, wow, Lord, I want to become like this. So Jervis was there. He was at the piano. In those days, we didn't, the Grace Baptist Church didn't have musical instruments, drums, whatever. It was just a piano. And so when we started and we were singing, and I was on the guitar, I used to play the acoustic guitar for the group. I don't know when I stopped, and I don't know if I can play again, I don't know. But when we were playing and singing, then I saw that Jervis went to the piano, and then he was supporting us with the piano. And that encouraged us the most. So, like I was saying from the beginning, there was no rivalry or competition, that kind. It was a kind of mindset that says that this is ministry. Let us all help. And they were doing that to help us. And I believe you me, when we had sung the song and the people applauded us, immediately we closed. Oh, I don't think we even closed for the church. When we came down, one of the members, one of the leaders, I won't mention his name, he came to us and said, wow, you people have crucified the song. And I said, what? And ironically, the leader of the group, who happened to be Jervis Jokoto at that time, came to us and congratulated us. But when I came home, I went for the cassette. In those days it was a cassette. So I went for the cassette and played it again, and I saw that, wow, we actually crucified the song. And so that was when I said, okay, Father, all along we have been singing people's songs. How about giving us the gift to write? You have blessed us with voices. Can you grant us grace enough to write our own songs? So that was when I started writing music.